Okay, let's try this again. Again. Are we back? Hey. Okay. Still walking and talking. Excuse me. Okay, so let me know if this is going to be too loud. I'm going to park by these kids and see if we can do this again. So, hey, okay, so welcome guys. Trying this again, take two. Miranda here, actress, host, TV personality, natural hair model, and I've always gotten a lot of questions over the years because I've been a natural hair model since probably 2008. And I've always gotten a lot of questions about like breaking into just that part of the business because it is really specific. So I want to try to answer those questions today, very briefly, because I've never talked about it. And I realized I was like, okay, this would be a good scope. So welcome. If you want to share the broadcast, please share it with your friends, your family, your fellow Hairnistas, curl friends, all that good stuff on Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Hey, LA. And guys, if you're with me, if you want to share it with some of the women in your life that have great heads of hair, please share that as well. Hey, from Denmark, what's up? So I'll let a few more people jump in and then we'll get rolling. This was supposed to be a walk and talk. I'm really almost where I am, so the walk part is kind of over, but I was losing the signal, so I'm going to hold fast for a little bit. So thanks for sharing, and welcome. So we're going to start chatting about natural hair and being a natural hair model because it's a little different from, your regular modeling, even though it is still connected. So the first question is, people are like, well, what's a natural hair model or what's natural hair? And when I say natural hair, I'm talking about, women of color, meaning African American, women that are biracial, Latina. Usually these are the women that are used in product ads and billboards and commercials for hair products or beauty products that are geared toward textured, kinky, coily, all of that stuff. Ooh, somebody loves my vagina. She thanks you so much. My hands are full, so I can't block the crazies today. So y'all just bear with me. So if the connection is not great, we're going to just say, I'm standing still. So if it's not good right here, I don't really know what the deal is. So if this doesn't work out, I'll pop it back up later. So let me know, guys. If this is good, I'll keep going. If not, let me know. Because Purify, you might be the only one because other people, I think, are saying it's okay. So before I keep going, guys, give me a 1 if you can see me, a 2 if it's frozen. Hi, how are you? So before I keep going, a 1 if it's good, 2 if it's frozen. Because it was frozen before, and I don't want to say in this if it's frozen. So 1 if it's good, 2 if frozen. Oh God, doing some blockage. So again, can y'all just let me know before we keep going? 1 if it's good, 2 if it's frozen. Telling you're kissing me is not helping me. So hey guys, if you're on here, 1 if we're good. Okay, good. That's all I needed to know. Thank you. Are you okay? Yeah, everybody's saying 1. So okay, we're gonna keep rolling. Alrighty. Keeping this beautiful message going. Wonderful. Okay, cool. So that's really the first thing about natural hair. So everybody's like, well, what's a natural hair model and how is it different? You can see me now. Okay, good. So that's really the first piece about natural hair is about what is it, what are the products geared towards. So that's the first thing. One thing you need to know about natural hair modeling, and it seems like a basic thing, but the first thing you need to know if you're interested, one, is that it's still, something that's part of the modeling industry. And it's not saying that there aren't campaigns or from time to time brands do projects where they use quote unquote real people. But at the end of the day, they're usually still casting for models. So if it's something that you're interested in, I would recommend first that, if you're really serious about being a model, you've got to think about, your hair, your skin, your fitness, all of those things. Because at the end of the day, it's still modeling. Yes, they're seeing your hair, but you're still getting cast for how you look from head to toe. Now, there's not generally a height requirement because I'm 5'5", but you still need to think about, at the end of the day, it still is a model casting. It's still a model casting. Hold on one second. So that would be the first thing. If you're in a market and there's a modeling agency there, usually commercial or print market, that's where they're going to be doing most of the casting. Most of the natural hair casting these days happens out of Atlanta, Chicago, New York, and LA. You can live in some of the other markets and get submitted because I've definitely met girls on shoots. There was one that was from Arizona and some other places, but you will find that the majority of like the main ads that you see, like for Cream of Nature and Curls Unleashed and Organic Root Stimulator and all those things, are booked out of Chicago, Atlanta, New York, and LA. So that's the first thing. You have to think about the market. Now, it's not to say to you guys, if you're, in a smaller market, you can't do it, but you want to think about these are where those larger markets are. So if you're closer to one of those, or you can get, say you're a couple hours drive, then that's still worth it to you to try to get in with an agency or keep your eye out for casting. So that's number one. The second piece is that it seems very basic, but a lot of people forget about this. You need to have a head of healthy hair. Now, mind you, when I say healthy hair, I'm not saying long hair, I'm not saying silky hair, I'm not saying wavy hair. It can be whatever your texture is, whether you're 1, 2, 3B, 4C, all of those things, but your hair does need to be healthy. And I think a lot of girls think like, oh, it doesn't matter, I can wear a sew-in. Like right now I have in a sew-in. I love my sew-in, but if I was going to a hair casting, I would have to take this out. You cannot go to a hair casting for natural hair with any types of extensions in. No sew-in, no wig, no half weave, no whatever. Don't do that. They can't see your hair. And the point of getting cast for a hair ad, especially for natural hair, is that they want to see your curls, they want to see your kinks, they want to see your coils, like they want to see your texture. And I know a lot of girls feel like, oh, my hair's not silky. Honey, my hair is not silky anywhere, and I've booked numerous campaigns. But you want to have, make sure that you're really anal and taking care of your hair, because at the end of the day, they're looking for great heads of hair. So that's what you want to think of. The other thing is that if you're going to a casting for natural hair, don't show up with your hair straight unless that's what they're asking for. If they're asking for curly hair or textured hair, show up with your hair in a twist out, a wash and go, Bantu knot out, something. But don't show up with your hair blown, flat iron, silk pressed straight. I've gone to a casting before. Once I had to wet my hair down in a casting. And so unless you want to have to go in the bathroom and wet your hair down, which I don't think you want to do because I didn't want to have to do it and I looked crazy, I did book it, but that's still a random and not a guarantee. So that's the other thing. If you're going to a casting, no extensions, weaves, wigs of any kind, and don't wear your hair straight. Wear your hair in its natural state so that they can see it, So that's the other thing. A third piece that you would want to think about if you want to be a natural hair model, take care of your skin. Hair ads still fall under beauty, and if you're a beauty model, it's literally all about skin, hair, face, shoulders, because if you think about the hair ads and stuff that you see, you can look back on some of my ads and some that I've done. The majority that you see are from here up. Yeah, you can do a twist out, something that shows your texture, No, you would be surprised. People have showed up in extensions and they've been like, you got to go home. Like, you can't see your hair. And don't think that you can get by with some extensions like these. I'm doing this because I'm not going to a hair ad or a hair casting. But if you're going to a hair casting, I would have to take my sewing out. So that's the thing. But back to skin. So that's the other piece. Yes, you have to have a great head of healthy hair, but you also have to have great skin because it's still a beauty ad. It doesn't matter that you have this amazing head of hair and your skin's jacked up. They're not going to spend all this money and time in post-production, airbrushing, a whole else to think about. So make sure that the same way that you're deep conditioning, taking care of your hair, doing all those things, make sure that you're being just as, focused on your skin, drinking water, doing all of those things, because you need to have great hair, great skin, because it's still a beauty ad, So these are they seem like basic things, guys, but you would be surprised. Another thing that I tell people is think about your teeth. Whitening strips are your friend, making sure you get your regular cleaning, because again, when you're doing beauty, it's very focused on here. These are tight shots. They're showing your hair, you're smiling, you're doing all these things. So your skin, your teeth, your hair are very, very important. And these are going to be the things that set you apart in a casting, because what I've noticed, like the girls that get booked, and you'll notice in a lot of these ads, it's a lot of us that are kind of in rotation that have shot with more than one company. Like I've shot with ORS Curl. I've done 2 major campaigns for ORS. Thank you, darling. Loving the fuss. Thank you. I've done campaigns for ORS Curls Unleashed. I've done, campaigns for Cream of Nature, and then I also came back and was their first ever brand ambassador. And it's at the end of the day, you've got to take care of your package. And I tell people all the time, it's like, this is not something where you can just kind of show up and say, oh, my hair looks great. It's more than that. Because at the end of the day, when you're going to a casting, you're going up against girls who may have done, runway stuff, all those things. Like I've literally booked jobs where I might be the shortest girl there, but I was able to walk in with great skin, great personality, my face was good on point, my teeth were on point, and my hair was very healthy. So that's what you need to think about. So just as a recap, if you want to be a natural hair market, first, think about the different markets where most of the jobs are booked. Atlanta, Chicago, New York, LA. If you do not have representation or have an agent, you want to think about those areas and think about, okay, how can you get to these markets? How can you submit to these markets? And think about that. A little sidebar thing is that now some of the brands are starting to look on Instagram, and these girls are getting loved and are getting booked for jobs. That's something to think about. So if you have a great head of hair, and maybe you're in, like, say, Mississippi, or you're in Timbuktu somewhere, but you have a great look, think about the Instagram pictures that you're posting, because now brands are searching, and sometimes girls are getting plucked from Instagram from these jobs. At the end of the day, the majority of them are still going to go to girls that have agents and have, are with an agency, but there are still girls that are getting booked from social media. So think about the pictures that you post, because you never know, it could land you a campaign. Yes, it's not, and it's still a thing of, now I will say this about weight. Weight is not, it's not a hard and fast thing like, do you go to castings with your natural texture? Absolutely. I'll recap that. Go to castings with your natural texture, meaning a wash and go, twist out, something. You can do either or, whichever one that, makes your hair look amazing. I would say go with that one, but you can't have any extensions, any pieces, any clip-ins in of any kind. Do that. Also, make sure that your headshots or your photos that you're bringing are of you with your hair, curly, and show that, and that they match. So there's that. Somebody said weight. This is what I will tell you about weight, and I'm going to be very honest. It's not necessarily the same. Hi, Privet from Samara, Privet. It's not the same as, say, going to a Marc Jacobs casting where you've got to be like 0 pounds. But I will say that most of the girls are still model size, meaning that anywhere from 0 to 4, probably the largest size girl I've ever seen on a natural hair job that I've booked has been a 6. Now, again, this is not to say that they won't go beyond that. I'm just telling you what has happened on the major campaigns that I've done. And when I say major campaigns, I'm talking billboards, full page magazines, stuff all over the country. Fit Baker Mom, horrible. I've been doing horrible. I've actually even lost weight because I haven't been working out. I think I'm down to like 105. It's ridiculous. So there you go. And Sean, here's the thing about extensions. It's not even a big deal. It's just a lot of girls don't realize that you can't go to the casting with them. Now, the one little piece that I will add for you guys is that if you are a natural hair model and you want to be a natural hair model, the last piece that's very important, and it was also hard for me. I've been a little fortunate because it didn't happen to me a lot, but you have to be open to getting your hair altered in some way, meaning that you have to be open to possibly getting it colored, possibly getting it cut, things like that, because when it's on set, they might be booking you for a specific look. Maybe it's for a color box for natural hair, maybe it's for a thing. No, the roller set is totally fine for natural hair. Roller sets are totally fine. But you have to be open to possibly getting it cut, possibly getting it colored, things like that. Because at the end of the day, you're getting booked for the hair, but they still are going to want to manipulate it. Lord, I'm by this, this playground, and they are going ham. Hold on. They're going like super ham. Okay, so my little quiet spot is not so quiet anymore. So just think of that, guys. Think of that. So does anybody have, I'll do about, if anybody has about 5 quick questions before I got to go, I'll answer those. So shoot me your quick questions if you have them, and I'll answer them before I bounce. And we can also do another scope about this later where I can go a little bit more in depth. You have color in the front but no relaxer. Totally fine. How old am I? That has nothing to do with hair, boo, so we ain't talking about that. If it's hair model, natural hair model related questions, we can talk about it. Okay, what about teens with locks? Locks I will say this about locks. It has to be very specific if that's what they're looking for. Generally, most of it, they're not necessarily looking for locks, but you have to just check the castings because it's possible. This is my natural hair is out at the top. I'm wearing a sew-in. Somebody said women over 50. It just honestly depends on the casting, but it's definitely open. How do you deal with working with different brands exclusivity? It really depends on the type of campaign that you're booked for and the contract. As the brand ambassador to Cream of Nature, I was exclusive because I was the face of the company. When I've just done campaigns for people like, say, Curls Unleashed and things like that, then I wasn't exclusive. But you'll know about exclusivity because the check will match the exclusivity. Spend your time going to local agencies. You should, Sean, because you would be surprised. And at the end of the day, work is work, so you want to keep getting work and have like photos to show so that if you do get to go to a larger agency or a larger city, then you actually have jobs that you've booked, even if they are small. Is it safe to color natural hair? It just really depends. I still would recommend doing it with a professional because that's not really my area of expertise, but I know a lot of people that have colored their hair and been fine. Understanding Russian. Gypsy in the City. There are a lot of good print agencies. There's CESD. There's Don Buchwald. If you go to like nycastings.com, there's like a whole section of a lot of good print agencies and things like that. You're welcome, guys. So I hope this is helpful for all my natural girls. Keep that hair popping. Keep that skin popping. I would love to see some of my fellow sisters in these ads. Somebody was just in Africa and they tagged me, and one of my Cream of Nature ads that was one of the first ones that I shot in 2008 is still running in 2015, and it's in Ghana. So it's a chance really for girls, especially for girls of color. Like, I never thought I would be on a billboard or be on something and my face would be seen like all over the world. So it's a great feeling, and we need more of ourselves represented in our hair and all those things. So love you guys. Take care of your hair and get it popping and get these ads. Can you use roller set with heat every day? That will be damaging. Any type of heat every day is damaging. So be careful with that. So love you guys. I'm going to see you later. Bye. Oh, remember, Africa Miranda on Instagram, social media, all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you later, boos. Bye-bye.